Can a ghost come back from the dead? Only if their love for the living is strong enough to pierce the veil and lift the shadows that separate the physical from the spiritual realm. Such a case happened in Philadelphia on a bitterly cold and snowy day. The prominent village doctor had just sat in his chair after a long and arduous day of tending to his patients. As he was drifting off to a deep sleep, he heard what sounded like desperate knocking at his front door. Awakened by the heavy clanging, he rushed to open the door, only to find a frail, shivering little girl wrapped in a threadbare shawl and tattered shoes. The little girl, whose hollow eyes and ghastly pallor cast a preternatural pall over her diminutive figure, begged the tired doctor to come with her and treat her mother, who had fallen ill. As she held his hand, the small child led the doctor through the dark and bitter snow to a dilapidated tenement building. He thought to himself, how cold this poor child feels. They quickly went upstairs and entered a drab room lit up only by the flickering flame of a lantern. The doctor immediately recognized the sick woman who lay on the bed as one of his former house servants. He diagnosed her as having pneumonia and sent a neighbor for the medicine that would cure the woman. As he made her comfortable, he congratulated her on her conscientious and responsible daughter. "What do you mean, my daughter?" The sick woman did not understand. "Why, the girl who brought me here, madam. Your daughter. She said you were sick, and I must come at once." "I do not know what you speak of, doctor." The woman seemed even more confused and agitated. "My daughter died a month ago. Her shoes and shawl are in that cupboard." You can imagine the doctor's shock when he opened the small door and found the neatly folded threadbare shawl and the tattered shoes next to it. He looked around to find the young child, but she was nowhere to be found. Do ghosts come back from the dead? Only if their love for the living is strong enough to pierce the veil and lift the shadows that separate their world from ours.